What I suggest you do is stop listening to all food police. Social media can be very difficult for everyone, but if you have emotional eating and you are seeing all this fear stuff about food everywhere, it's really gonna make you scared, overwhelmed, and it's gonna trigger your emotional eating constantly. Brace yourself, the friends. I'm about to talk about weight loss advice that no one wants to hear. And I know this because I used to be morbidly obese and I didn't want to hear it either. Once I accepted it and let these things land, I was able to save my life and lose 130 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off for 9 years. So the first one is bad and unhealthy food and carbs are not making you fat. Eating too much is. I spent years blaming the food and certain types of food. Foods I looked at as unhealthy, bad, carbs, bread, sugar. There's only one rule when it comes to losing weight. That is, you need to be in a calorie deficit, meaning you need to eat less. So if you're eating in a calorie surplus, you're going to gain weight. If you're eating in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. It's not about what you're eating, it's how much. That's where people get so confused. It's very hard to hear that you need to eat less. And I know because I struggled so much and for so many years to lose weight. And I heard many times like, Nicole, can't you just eat less? It's not that easy, but it is simple. And once I understood, okay, I need to eat in a calorie deficit. How can I do that? And I realized it's not about eating drastically less, which is what I was always trying to do and it would backfire. It's about a little less, small changes. That's what worked for me. Low-cal switches really helped me in the beginning because I was still eating what I wanted, but by switching to a low-cal version of what I loved, I was saving calories and it didn't feel like I was dieting or being in a calorie deficit. Eat whatever you want, but in order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. And I did that with portion control. The second thing is that this is a law. It's calories in, calories out. It applies to everyone. And I get comments all the time, well, that doesn't work for me because I have this or I have this. Yes, there are factors that affect the out part of the calories, but it's still the same for everyone. So the things that affect outcals are age, metabolism, body type, medical history if you have like health issues or hormone issues, your activity level, but you still have to be in a calorie deficit. It's still calories in, calories out. I have hormone issues. I have PCOS. I was still able to lose weight by eating less. Even though it's hard to accept, it's always cals in, cals out. I have to work a little harder and eat a little less than someone who doesn't have hormone issues. And that might be it. You might have to eat less and work harder than someone else, but it still applies. You may need to eat a few less calories or do a little extra cardio. If you're losing weight, that means you're in a calorie deficit. And actually, like now that I've lost weight and I've built muscle, I found that the muscle that I hold allows me to eat a little bit more calories while keeping the weight off and staying lean. So depending on, all those factors, you might have to eat a little less or you might be able to eat a little bit more. Number 3, if you have emotional eating, weight loss won't matter. You can have the perfect diet, but if you have emotional eating and you can't stop, it's out of control, until you deal with the underneath stuff, you're not gonna be able to get and keep the weight off. And I know because I struggled with emotional eating all of my life. And even when I found portion control and I got my diet in check, I still had to deal with the underneath things in order to keep the weight off. Because no matter what I tried, even if I enjoyed my food, I was eating for other reasons other than hunger. I was eating because I didn't want to deal with trauma. From childhood, I had a lot of guilt around food because of the weight loss and fitness industry and also part of how I was raised. Sometimes it's because I had a bad day or I had anxiety or I didn't want to deal with something. And so if you're eating because of those reasons, no diet is going to help you with that. You have to deal with that. And so how I did it was I got professional help, and anyone who has emotional eating, I really recommend that you get professional help. It helped me. I also had to work on the guilt around food while I was getting the help. What I suggest you do is stop listening to all food police. Social media can be very difficult for everyone, but if you have emotional eating and you are seeing all this fear stuff about food everywhere, it's really gonna make you scared, overwhelmed, and it's gonna trigger your emotional eating constantly. Stop looking at what others are eating and stop letting other people's judgment of what you're eating get to you. You really have to stop labeling food, stop feeling bad about what you're eating, and do this for you. Because if you don't do it for you and let go of the guilt, you're not going to be able to overcome it, and it's going to be very difficult for you to keep the weight off. All the excitement that you feel when you start a new fad diet or restrictive diet, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't last because it's not sustainable. So if you're doing something like removing food groups or taking away your favorite foods or making yourself do exercise or something that you don't want to do, you're not going to stick to it. And if you're pulling away your favorite foods, it's going to backfire. All you're going to do is want it, and you're going to become fixated on staying on this diet and then fixated on the food, and it's just going to cause you to get stuck in this never-ending cycle. You need to make it a lifestyle change. You need to build in what you love into your lifestyle. There's no need to cut out your favorite foods, and like I always say, weight loss should never be a punishment. If you can't stick to what you're doing, it's going to crash and burn. You gotta love it. So for example, if you enjoy wine or alcohol, build it in. If you love cookies, build it in. A couple cookies a night is not gonna hurt you. And a lot of people get confused and don't understand this. You can build in the foods that you love because you have to eat 3,500 calories above your maintenance calories just to gain 1 pound. That's 3 bags of Oreos. So a couple of cookies or a glass of wine, or Kyle and I wanted chicken wings the other night. We built those in with restaurant style French fries. Build it in. You gotta love it. You gotta stick to it. And that's what a lifestyle change is. Number 4, fat loss and weight loss is 90% diet, not exercise. A lot of people get very confused by this, and they think that they can work off what they ate. So I was under that impression too. I used to not change my diet and just over-exercise. It is impossible to burn off the calories that you eat. This is an example. I do an hour of cardio in the morning, and I burn about 400 calories. My breakfast is a little over 500. So just to burn off my breakfast, I'd have to do 2 hours of cardio. So if you're taking in lots of calories and you think you're gonna burn it off with exercise, it would take you days and weeks and months, and it wouldn't work. It's impossible. Diet is key. You have to get your diet in check first, and then I always say that exercise is the cherry on top. So I did portion control to lose the weight, to get my diet in check, get in a calorie deficit. Then I added the cherry of 15 minutes of slow, steady state walking every day, because physically at my size, 275 pounds, that's what I could handle. Weight loss and fat loss is diet first, then you can do some exercise or to build some muscle or for some heart health or whatever you want to do, but it's diet first. So I hope that helps anybody struggling. I get it if it's hard to hear, because it was hard for me. But once you let them land, you can really stop making weight loss a punishment, loving yourself, and actually doing something that you like to lose weight. If you want to know the exact meals and portions that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link's down below, and code Nicole will save you 10%. And we've been getting asked a lot about bundles because we have 4 ebooks. So we now have an everything bundle, and you'll save money by buying the everything bundle, which is all 4 books at once. And if you use code Nicole, you'll save the 10% off of it as well. So double savings, cutie. Plus, if you like protein, best tasting protein ever. This is HTLT Steps. We just used the maple cookie tonight in our protein ice cream. This is the bee's knees because you can put in everything. I put in Greek yogurt, oatmeal. It flavors everything deliciously. Protein lowers your hunger hormone called ghrelin. So protein, you want to make it like your main focus when you're trying to lose weight. I eat it at every meal, so does Kyle, because it helps keep you fuller longer. So protein, especially something like this, like you can only eat so much protein, so we love throwing this in, you know, stuff to build up the protein, like yogurt, oatmeal, protein ice cream, that kind of thing. Code Nicole will save you 15% off, and the link is down below. It's normal to be hungry when you're in a calorie deficit. So yes, things like the protein, low-cal, high-volume foods, those are the things that will help you feel like you're eating a lot and feel fuller while you're going on this journey. But hunger is normal. I don't like it, but you do have to sit with it sometimes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you guys. Watch This Fit and This Fit for more fun, sustainable weight loss tips, because Sass and I are real friends losing weight in the real world. Sometimes we do some tough love like this, and most of the time we're doing the tips for fun so you can love what you eat, because you gotta love it. If you're not having fun, you ain't getting it done, honey, because you gotta love it and be excited every single day. So, I'll catch you in the next video. Cutie. Peace it, peace it, peace it. Look at my new socks. Check them out. Look at this. French fries, hamburger, ketchup with a little smiley. I want to eat this. Bye, guys.
See you.
I'm a muscle gal.
Whoa.
Great bodybuilder poser.
Whoa.
Sign me up for the Olympiad. Bye.
See ya.
Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here, heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can